الله أكبر الله أكبر
الله أكبر الله أكبر
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر
الله أكبر الله أكبر
لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا ما أحييتنا واجعله الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا وانصرنا اللهم على من عادانا ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا يا رب العالمين. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وعنا معهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to Him, and peace and blessings be upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I do bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. Assalamu alaikum, respected brothers and sisters. Are we appreciating what we have? This is the title of my khutbah. Are we really appreciating what actually we have? Let's see, sometimes, subhanallah, one of the most difficult things that the khatib faces always is, what is the topic that he should be tackling or handling? Because tens of possibilities. A few days ago, I was traveling in the GTA for one of the cities. So I met one of the brothers. As a reaction to my khutbah there in this city, he told me this story. Directly, he is an eyewitness, and the person is someone that he knows personally. Now I want you just to go on a journey. I will be quoting and narrating exactly what he told me. Then I will come to what I need from the lessons, wisdom behind, messages that can be taken from this real story. Now, this man tells me that he knows a young guy, 20 plus, no more than 27 years, professional. He works a good job, a good salary. He has a car, a wife, and a kid. Out of a sudden, he started facing some kind of troubles. For whatever reason, I did not know the details. His wife decided to leave him and to take the kid and to use some kind of all legal power against him, and he was completely detached from his family. He started sleeping in his car, which means no home, no house, no family, no wife, no kid, which, by the way, it's not something very strange in the West. I mean, it could happen at any time. Okay, now it seems that this man, he lacks or he does not have an extended family. No father, I don't know the details, but practically from the context, there is no support by any way from any group of support, social support. No father, no mother, no brother, no sister, no genuine, real, honest brothers. So he started developing a very, very difficult feelings to a degree. Now you will be astonished. He decided to end his life. Now, the person who's speaking with me, he knows him in person. He works with him. So he saw him once saying that I decided, he was planning, thinking, I decided to do, and he used the following terminology. It was strange for me, even for the speaker who was telling me, it was a strange terminology. As I think he said assistant suicide, something like that. Then I learned, I said, what does this terminology mean? I understood, if I'm quoting well, that by law, because we know something called the euthanasia, al-qatl al-rahim, when someone is in a very severe medical condition and he's facing a lot of difficulties, they gave him the right to take a decision to end his life. This is something else. This is basically, you might be 25, for whatever reason, you decided that there is no value for your life. You want to end your life. I did not know that. This is by law. This is what he's telling me now. So I'm listening, I'm quoting. He said, even the speaker, he said, are you serious? He said, yes, by law, I have this right, and I decided to do it, and I went there, I filled an application, consent, and this must be done under certain circumstances, at least 2 doctors, they must observe this, and he decided to go through this. Now, the one who tells me, he said, I did not take it seriously. I thought he's just, sometimes out of whatever emotional status, any one of us could be saying anything. So the one who speaks with me did not think that that man is thinking seriously to do it. He came one day, he said, where is that person? They work together. They said, actually, today is the day of, that he will apply that. What? Are you serious? Yes. He said, I went immediately to his, because he was not replying anything on the phone. He went to his page, Facebook. He was writing, in 14 hours, in 12 hours, I'm leaving this life. I hope everything will go well. Then the last post it was, and I think after that he stopped responding or deactivated. I don't know what he did. He just say a very deep emotional word. And he said something like, because he was telling me, in Arabic, I'm just translating the concept that I received. He said he was starting something like, please, I hope everyone will forgive me. Please don't leave your close, people to you. Please express your emotions. Take care of the beloved ones. Something like, when someone is about to leave the life, these things will be really of big significance for him. So he wrote some words that I'm leaving. I hope everyone will forgive me. And he stopped responding to anything. Now, it was like 9 a.m. where he will start receiving this, whatever it is, to end up his life. Then he disappeared. No response, nothing. Everyone was expecting just to know later on by any way that everything is finished. Now about 7 hours later, Habibi, can you take him, just remove him from... Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Try to ask him not to speak. طيب حبيبي جزاك الله خير بارك الله فيك. So I forgot what I was saying. 5, alhamdulillah, you are with me. Alhamdulillah, it's good. That's okay. I just discovered that we are on the same track. Okay. So a few hours later, look what happened. Actually, he did not continue this. Look what happened by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He went there. He was supposed everything to start giving him some chemicals, some kind. But the condition, as I understood, 2 doctors must be there and to take his final consent that he's still aware that this is his decision. Both of them must be there. Both of them must witness that he's fully aware of his previous decision. Then to sign again, then we'll start giving him whatever it is in his veins, something, chemicals to lose, etc. Just خلاص, to finish his life. Now there was a car accident in the street. Both doctors, they were late 2 hours. 2 hours, from 9 to 11. So he was there, fully prepared with the gowns, with the things in his vein, waiting. 10 minutes, nothing, no one comes. 15 minutes, so he started becoming boring. Then he decided to open his Facebook page. So subhanallah. Once he opened his Facebook page, he found, the people they thought that he is, khalas, he finished his life. So they started expressing some of their real, genuine emotions. May God give him mercy. He was a nice person. I would love something such and such in his personality. Once he did so and so. So they started speaking nicely about him, expressing their emotions and their real or some of their feelings towards him. This made him, like in a positive psychological shock, that there is a hope. It's not just khalas. Why should I finish my life? He realized this by the moment that the 2 doctors reach and they say, okay, are you still want to sell? He started like what they call crying spell, نوبة buka, for a long time, heavily crying, and decided not to do it and stopped it. The story is finished. Alhamdulillah, Allah saved him. May Allah guide him to the truth. Now, let's come to what I want to use from this story. This story happened just a few days ago here in the GTA. And the chain of narrators is just one person. Now, message number 1. I will start with some simply quick messages. Then I want to come to the most important message from my point of view at the end. Now, first message I would like to send in light of this story. Please, now you might be astonished to tell you that I think most of you know, part of my work in this place, that I do family counseling, and on top of family counseling, marriage counseling. I try to reconcile or to fix problems between husband and wife. I witnessed by my own self some real, genuine, severe cases, spouses, husbands and wife, some of them, unless they believe that committing suicide is haram, they would do it because of the partner. I witnessed this. The only thing that stops them from ending their life, that they are fear of Jahannam and Allah will. Otherwise, from a human, social point of view, they would have done it easily. So I was asking myself, the first message, please, and by the way, sometimes the husband does not know what his wife is thinking about, or vice versa. The wife does not know what the husband is facing. The first message, please brothers, please sisters, don't push your partner to reach to that status. Be careful. Look, now it was very simple for that person, very simple. He does not have the family support. He does not have, close humans just to express their good, nice intentions. By the way, he's not 70 plus, 80 plus. He was not facing any kind of medical conditions. He's 27, he has a car, he has a good profession, he has a salary, he's working. Yes, he faced a serious trouble. He lost his wife and his kid. But who said losing a wife and kid necessarily should push you just to think to end your life? So message number one, husband and wives, partners, spouses, please, please reconsider to what level I'm pushing the most close person to me in this dunya, to something like that. Second level, please take care of your kids. Don't push your kids to think in this way, because this is a real case. This is the real case that we knew. Okay, do we or are we supposed to keep waiting then just out of a sudden to hear a case in our Muslim community that we face something like that? Because sometimes what you see in the surface, not necessarily what happens in reality. You know, under the surface, many things are boiling sometimes. So someone like myself, his job is just to warn, to tell you, be careful, reconsider, look again to your kids. Don't push them, be careful. Take in consideration that the life is very difficult. The pressure, the psychological pressure, you know, the intellectual, you know, the shahawat, the desires. We need to re-look at again about our emotional, human, social relations. We need to fix them. We need to review, not just to say for granted everything, this is impossible. No. Anything could happen at any moment. Now, I want to come to the most important thing in this story, from my point of view as a Muslim. Let's say, to what level anyone from our community could be facing something as such. Easily, it could happen, unless if he has the proper way and perspective to our existence. Let's make quick understanding now. Now, do we have Muslims who are facing serious difficulties, challenges in their life? Yes or no? Yes. What should stop us from taking a decision, serious decision? Because you know, in Islam, committing suicide is one of the major sins. By the way, killing yourself, if you are aware, apart from the exceptional cases, I've seen someone who's not aware. This is a medical condition. It has another, consideration. If I'm aware and I took a decision to end up my life, it's exactly like killing someone else. Killing someone else or killing myself is the same in Sharia. Okay? So I have no right to end my life just simply because my fiancé decided to leave me. I don't have this right. Okay? I'm not saying I might not be able to control my feelings. I feel very sad, very upset. Maybe all my kids will stand against me. It happens. We witness people, for whatever reason, regardless who's right, who's wrong, the whole family is against him. After spending 30 and 40 years of supporting them, taking care of them, the mother and the kids, all of them he against him, and he was thrown into the street. It happened. Many cases. And the other way as well. After she did such and such, and she, paid an amazing attention to the family, simply everyone just left her. They don't care about it. It happens. But why I'm not supposed to reach to that level of decision? Simply, your iman should be like an amazing shield and powerful protection from this. But why? Let me just share with you very quickly. For us, one of the basic pillars of our existence, الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم. He is Allah who created life and death so that He wants to put you into test or trial. Basic pillar of our existence to be tested. Basic pillar. It's not a marginal something that could happen. No. Actually, we are here to be tested. Plus, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ fitna. We are in a big test with what we see as good and bad. What if I'm facing bad things? We have our understanding, perspective. When I face difficulties, one of these reasons is to purify me, to cleanse my sins, to uplift my grade, to bring me closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe I'm not paying the sadaqah or the zakah. Maybe I'm arrogant. Maybe I'm using my muscle power against the people on the street. Maybe I'm using my connection against weak people. Maybe I don't care about cheating, lying, whatever. I'm doing a lot of things. A disaster from my point of view, or a difficulty, or a challenge, or a problem, or a disease, or an illness, sickness, a problem, backbiting, someone that betrays me, my partner, whatever. All of these things basically could be used by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me like a wake-up call. I'm like a drunk who's not paying attention. I'm using my power, my money, my status, my connections to do dhulm, to do injustice. So this, whatever you want to call it, disaster, challenge, problem, whatever, okay, will come like a wake-up call. Exactly, wake-up call. Hey, be careful. Hey, know your place. Be careful. Maybe I'm one of the most disrespecting people to his parents. Maybe I'm just screaming in the face of my mother on a daily basis for any reason, silly reason. So I'm committing a major sin. This problem, losing my job, being kicked out, accused of false accusations, which could kill me psychologically, it's a wake-up call. But what if I'm not doing anything bad? And it happened. I'm just giving you possible explanations. Simply not to be stuck with this life. Prepare yourself for the akhirah. لا تأسى, which means don't have this kind of grief. No problem. How do I conclude this? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he was kicked out of At-Ta'if, literally he was bleeding. They stoned him. You know, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the best of the creation. They stoned him. And he was bleeding. Can you imagine now, physically, your body is bleeding out of the injury because you've been stoned. Okay, on the base of injustice, on the base of hatred. And his big thing was in his dua, أللهم يكن بك غضب علي فلا أبالي. He was not directing, this is a message for us. Okay, I'm facing a trouble. I'm bleeding. I'm injured. There is a physical pain that could control completely my body and my thinking. Yet, I'm not directing now. He's our role model, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not directing my, Ya Allah, take revenge from them, Ya Allah. They deserve, by the way, if he made. By the way, if Prophet Muhammad said, Oh Allah, take revenge, oh Allah, such as us, he's not doing haram or bad, by the way. It's his simple right, and they deserve it. My point that our Prophet Muhammad, the greatest, ultimately of the creation, he was focusing on in lam yakum bika ghadabun alayya fala ubali. Oh Allah, if you are not angry from me, I don't care what happens with me. Which means just, Ya Allah, just give me the, this kind of peace of mind, tranquility. Am I punished or there's something? Have I done something wrong? If not, I don't care. I'm not saying don't go to the court to take your right. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not telling you if someone doing injustice against you or someone is hurting you, use all possible means legally by law to take your right. I'm not discussing this point. I'm discussing when something happens beyond your control. You have no control. Khalas. This physical, tangible asset thing is lost. Finished. I have more than way to react. I can keep crying, grieving, feeling this kind of feeling that could lead me to lose hope in this life and to decide to think like this brother. And I can go back. Cleansing, possible. Uplifting, possible. Giving me the real status and weight of this life that I'm not supposed to do anything. Or waking call for me because I'm doing bad, wrong things, or I'm forgetting, I'm not praying, I'm not paying the sadaqah. Everyone has his own secret things between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And part of the biggest ni'mah of Allah, that Allah is always, not has bestowed, is always bestowing his sitr. You know, sitir on us, most of us, and I believe all of us, we have major or minor simple sins. our hearts, our tongues, our eyes, our ear, something. Many of the cases Allah is covering them, Allah is hiding them just between us and Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when something, I'm just giving you the first message of how to reflect upon such a story. For us, the concept of trial, al-bala, al-ibtila, is a basic part. So don't ever accept yourself just to be pushed to that status without paying attention to this point. This is one of the most important concepts that we need. And I finish the moral or the, let's say, benefits of this story by a statement that I always keep repeating. Our story has not been finished yet. We are living just part of the story. We as Muslims always must bring the following. I remember myself when I was doing my high school. We used to have a question in the school. In Arabic, it says, it's one of the tests, in the final tests. Al-Iman bil-yawm al-akhir darura aqliya, ishrah. This question, we received it about 38 years ago. I remember this question. Al-Iman, believing in the hereafter, is a logical necessity. Explain what does this mean? What's the meaning of this? It means in theory, if, just theoretical, let's imagine. For whatever reason, Allah did not tell us that there is a hereafter. But He told us about His existence and gave us an idea about His attributes and about the angels, the prophets, the messengers, the qada' qadar, and simply He ignored any information about the hereafter. If you believe in God's existence and God's power and God's justice and God's perfection in everything, your common sense mind will push you to believe by necessity, بالضرورة, that there must be a hereafter, or otherwise God does not exist, or وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, Allah is committing injustice, which is impossible in both cases. So your mind will push you logically that there must be a hereafter, because the full design of this dunya is not complete. That's why we call it, in our humble, simple wording, we call it Dar Bala. And we believe in Dar Jaza. the completion of the story there. So therefore, respected brothers and sisters, whenever you find a difficulty, a disaster, whether you have participated in or not, whether it happened by your knowledge or not, whether you have a partial control or not, regardless, you are facing a difficulty. Always remember the three houses that we are destinated. Worldly life, finished. Barzakh, Na'im Qabr, Adhab Qabr. The pleasure of the grave. إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا. This is in the grave. Those who said Allah and they were proud of being Muslims, following Allah, they will be enjoying in their graves up to the day of judgment. Then we have the third what? Stage, phase, house, which is the hereafter. The hereafter starts with what we call Yawm al-Qiyamah. And it starts with resurrection, congregation, bath, nushur, and accountability. Then we'll end up, after the accountability, in this day's 50,000 years, it will end up either or. So if we share this faith, and I believe that yes, all of us we share this, I'm just reminding, whenever you face a difficulty, remember this. I'm just a traveler. By the way, fight for your rights. Steadfast. But don't lose hope. Don't ever think to end your life. Don't ever think to lose hope, because simply whatever you are facing is nothing compared with what we will be facing. This is the mindset that every believer in Islam should be holding 24/7 to be protected with a, what in my words, divine protecting insurance. Whatever happens, immediately it works, you know, to protect you. You have ups and downs, but it's nearly very difficult to take this decision. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يرحمنا يحفظنا. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. استغفر الله. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. Quick message to pay your attention to the importance of what I'm doing now. Some brothers might think, Ya Sheikh, we have big troubles, political troubles around the world, we have a disaster, please address these things. I mean, we know it, we know these things. I said, brother, what I'm talking about is exactly like protecting our immune system. It's like the vaccine. Normally, people of logic, they have a good immune system 24/7 because they don't know when the virus will attack. I mean, you don't go and have healthy style of life after being infected with the virus. People of logic do what? They lead a style of life based on healthy food, sports, good sleep. When the problem comes, whatever it is, small, severe, difficult virus, you will be suffering in a very minor. But if you left your life simply when it comes, Allah bihillah ya Sheikh. Which means no healthy food. As an example, I'm making an analogy now. No healthy food, no good sleep, addiction to the electrical devices, okay? No sleep, no sports, all the time just the carbs, full of sugar, take nothing at all. When a simple virus comes to my body, I could spend 6 months in the hospital because no immune system. I'm not immune, I'm not protected, I'm not prepared. So therefore, what I'm doing now, I'm speaking about faith, aqidah, intellectual. You need to be ready to know what is your status. And Allah is not punishing you necessarily. And Allah loves you, but you need to understand the relation between you and this Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a law. If I'm not aware of it, when the disaster comes, I will not be having this kind of good sense to think properly. But I need to be prepared. When the musibah or the disaster comes, immediately my system will work. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى, because I'm prepared. That's why immediately الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا إِنَّ لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. Do you think that my reaction when they say, Assalamu alaikum, for example, you have lost such and such of your family, عَظَّمَ اللَّهُ أَجْرَكُمْ. This reaction, you should have been thinking about this 1 million times in your life. It's not the first time. Because every time you pray, you'll make dua. اللهم نعوذ بك من عذاب القبر وفتنة القبر. اللهم نسألك الجنة. Oh Allah, let my father and my mother and my brother and my sister and my father and my wife, my daughter to be with the Jannah. So I'm mentioning, protect us from عذاب القبر. I'm already mentioning عذاب القبر 10 times a day. I'm already mentioning death 100 times a day. I'm preparing myself. So when they tell me, okay, it is a disaster, but I have a immune system, I will not go say, Ya Allah, why me? Ya Allah. No. Alhamdulillah. I will cry, yes. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam cried. سيدنا العين لا تدمع وإن القلب لا يحزن وإن على فراقك يا إبراهيم ولمحزونون. We have this kind of normal human reaction of grief or sorrow. ولكن لا نقول إلا لك ولا نقول ما يرضي ربنا. We say nothing but what satisfies Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إن لله وإنا إليه راجعون. To Allah we belong and to Him we will return back. So let's do our best to prepare ourselves how to deal with big challenges, disasters, difficulties by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. اللهم ارحمنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ويوم العرض عليك يا كريم. اللهم إنا عبيدك أبناء عبيدك أبناء إمائك نواصينا بيدك ماض فينا حكمك عدل فينا قضاؤك نسألك بكل اسم هو لك سميت به نفسك أو أنزلته في كتابك أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا وجلاء أحزاننا وذهاب همومنا وغمومنا يا رب العالمين إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وأقم الصلاة. شيخ سعد تصلي فينا إن شاء الله. الله يجزيك الخير إذا سمحت.